All right, so let's talk about selective laser sintering in particular. You and especially 3D Camera have been a Sintotech partner now for many years. So, what do you think? Where do you see the market developing in the next 1 to 3 years? Because, as I stated before, FDM is mostly commonly known to everyone. SLA is very commonly known. SLS, from my experience, is something that people are still struggling to understand the differences. We are explaining them, of course, if we get around to. But we feel that more and more people now starting to do this shift, as you mentioned as well, from desktop or benchtop systems down to professional systems in a specific price and effort range. And what do you think about this? What is your experience?
Yeah, I think what we've seen is a dramatic shift of our customers from prototyping activities generally with 3D printing. And I think when you think about FDM, right, it's like particularly good for like kind of bigger parts that are in really low quantities, right? So like a large singular jig or a fixture or like a big prototype. FDM works fantastic for that, but you could be looking at, hours or days to produce parts. Whereas what we're seeing with our customers in SLS is really seeing a transition to end use parts, right? So actually producing the final product. And so in those scenarios, not everything is a great fit, but certainly when you're looking to print like a lot of smaller parts where you can fit hundreds or even thousands of parts in a single build overnight, that's a real game changer for what you can do in production. I mean, you're producing 100 or 1,000 parts in an evening. I mean, that's rattling traditional manufacturing and avoiding completely the tooling cost. So, we're seeing customers who are saying, for the cost of like one tool, I could buy an entire Sintering S2 and do a dozen products, and like that's amazing. And instead of doing a minimum order quantity of 10,000 pieces and waiting 6 weeks, I can get the 500 I need tomorrow, and then I can move on to the next design the next day, and I can fill out my product offering with a whole variety of things really quickly. So I think we're seeing this hard shift towards end use production parts, which then opens up this whole interesting opportunity for like different types of post processing and finishing on the parts as well. So we know, of course, as people who work in the industry, that when you're taking out a nylon part out of an SLS 3D printer, they look pretty amazing right out of the box, right out of the machine. But there's so much more that can be done, and like we're exploring that like a lot here on our team. So we can't even help ourselves from kind of getting into the challenging applications. So, we've been exploring things with ceramic coatings and with metal coatings and waterproofing and looking at different finishing techniques when you're blasting the parts or polishing the parts to really create this huge variety of finishes that can be done in an affordable way. So it's pretty exciting to see.